Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sherry and this is Gardening in the North. For those of you that grow hardneck garlic, you will have your garlic scapes almost ready to be harvested. So here in Ontario, Canada, growing zone 5B, I harvested ours roughly 5 or 6 days ago now. And so last year I made a pesto sauce with them and it was delicious. However, my husband and I are the only ones that actually eat pesto sauce, so I still have tons of it left. The other thing is that it is really garlicky. I probably should have added in more of the other ingredients and a little less of the garlic scape. For whatever reason, last year's garlic was very potent, more potent than the years prior, and I'm not sure why. However, this year, we're not making pesto because, as I mentioned, we have a ton of it still. So I've been trying to think of what I'm going to do with my garlic scapes because I don't want to waste them. So what I have come up with is a smoked garlic scape powder. So this is going to taste different than your regular powdered garlic or your homemade garlic powder. And so what we're going to do is we are going to throw these into the food processor and chop them up. We're then going to layer them on pans, throw them out into our smoker for probably an hour to an hour and a half. I'm going to keep checking it to make sure that they don't get overdone. The idea is that you want them to get soft, you want them to brown up a little bit, and then I'm going to bring them inside. I'm going to take those trays and throw them into my dehydrator and dehydrate them for a few hours. Once that's done and I think that all the pieces are fully dried, I'll then throw them into my blender and make the powder, and it is going to be amazing. So I haven't decided yet if I am going to split the batch up in half, depending on how much all of this makes, and make a smoked garlic powder and a smoked garlic salt. So stick around, let's get going. Okay guys, so I am using, let me see here, a mesquite blend. So this should give them a really nice flavor. This is all we have right now, so I don't have options anyways. So let's get it filled up. Wanted to show you how to start it. So first we are going to turn it on. We are going to put it on to smoke. We're going to leave it on smoke for a little bit. I'm going to go chop up the garlic scapes and then I will turn it up to about 225 and leave them on here for an hour and a half. Like I said, I will check them every 30 minutes just to make sure. Now, the instructions for this are all written here, so it was easy for me. I didn't need to have my husband here to show me how to do it. It does say that you should start it with the lid open. So I had both lids open just to be sure. Okay guys, so we're back inside. Smoker is on. It is smoking up. I've turned it up now to 225. So it is just waiting for me to put the scapes out there. One of the things I'm going to do is cut the scapes into 4 pieces, or roughly 3 or 4 pieces. I want to be able to fit them into the food processor better so that they can chop up. I'm going to be using this attachment here rather than using the shredder because I don't want to shred them. I want them in pieces. So this is what I'm going to do. We'll try it out. If it doesn't work, then I'll switch over to another attachment. So we are going to do that. The idea also with chopping them up as opposed to putting them into the smoker like this is that more of the garlic scape is going to get that smoke on it. So in the end, my final powder is going to be very smoky. So let's get chopping these up, get them into the food processor. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention is I bought these trays from the dollar store. They were $1.75 for 3. I'm going to layer them with parchment paper, and as I empty the food processor with the chopped up garlic scapes, I'm going to lay them on here. My thoughts are that I can slide these into the smoker, leave them out there, they can smoke up. When I think that they're ready to go into the dehydrator, I'm just going to take the trays and slide them into my dehydrator. I don't have to transfer the smoked garlic onto the dehydrating trays. So that's one step that I thought was worth buying these trays. I am going to be using the parchment paper, and I'll just rinse them off and keep them for another project like this. So I won't be throwing them out. So I bought 2 packs of them. I don't know that I could fit them onto the smoker, but we're gonna try. We'll see how many I can get on there at one time. Watch out, girl. Watch out. Okay, so the garlic has been on here now for a good 30-35 minutes. So let's just take a look. Oh, it's looking so good. Okay, so let me see. You know what? The crispy parts are really starting to get softer. You can see the color is changing a little bit on it. I'm going to get closer for you. So you can see that the color is starting to change. It's starting to take on the smoked flavor, and it smells delicious. Smoked with garlic. Oh, yummy. I'm not a fan of this tray over here. I think that maybe the heat isn't dispersed properly, because this one seems to be darker than the rest. I don't like how dark it is over here. The idea is not to cook this, but to smoke it. So I'm going to pull this off of here and pop it into the dehydrator now, and let the dehydrator do its job. After letting the trays cool for a good 10 minutes on that glass table, I decided that it was time to place them into the dehydrator. As you can see, I removed every other shelf, and all 5 trays fit perfectly into the dehydrator. The dehydrator that I'm using is the Excalibur. It is the 9 tray, and I can't say enough good things about this dehydrator. I absolutely love it. I love that I have the ability to remove the trays and use them exactly the way I'm using them right now. So let's start this. Right now it's in the off position. I want to do it like the vegetables. And so the vegetables are saying 125. So I'm just going to put it there. And to start off, I think I'm going to do about 4 hours. I don't know that it'll need that long. I mean, it was in the smoker for an hour and a half, but you know, we want to make sure it's done properly. So I will check back in 2 hours just to make sure. It's the next day. I turned these on for a little bit more overnight. It was pretty cold out in the screen room last night, and so I did need to put it on for an hour this morning just to make sure that they were completely dry. So in total, the garlic scapes were in the dehydrator for about 8 hours. So they were on the smoker for an hour and a half, and then in the dehydrator for 8 hours, and they are perfect. I'm just going to show you. You can hear them crunching. So now what I'm gonna do is put them through the blender and blend it up into powder. I took them out of the dehydrator probably about 20 minutes ago. Just wanted to make sure that they had cooled down basically. I didn't want there to be any warmth in them still because that can cause moisture when you're putting them into the blender. So we're gonna get them into the blender, we're gonna blend it up. I grabbed a pint-sized jar, but now I'm wondering if it's gonna be too small for what I have here, but we'll see. If it is, I'll grab another jar. One of the things I want to show you is these lids. So these lids come on your Parmesan cheese, your grated Parmesan cheese that you can buy at the grocery store. And these lids fit your mason jars perfect. So you can grab this out of your cupboard, you can shake out how much you need. These lids have been an amazing addition to my pantry. So usually what I'll do is fill the jar with whatever I've powdered up. I'll then add one of these dries to it. I used to add them into the lids, but then I found these lids and now I just throw it into the powder and they don't come out because they can't fit through these holes. So let's get started. I'm just going to dump, I'm not even sure if I can dump the whole thing in at one time. I think I'm going to move it down here so it's not so high for me. All right. Oh, one thing I need is the attachment that goes with this. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. Just gonna show you. Hopefully I don't spill it. And that's it there. Now I want to show you the difference in color between the regular garlic powder that I made and the smoked garlic scapes. So I'm just gonna put some in here. Okay. Wow, half a pint jar for one tray, and I have 5 trays. Oh, the smoked flavor that I smell. Let me grab the other one. Okay, so this is the jar that I made last year, so October 2021, and we are now in July, and that's how much I've used. Like, this was packed. Now I use this in everything, so this is a good indicator that I don't need to make as much this year. Oh, but this, okay, let me see what the difference is. So this one has more of a garlic smell to it. This is garlic cloves that I dried and made into powder. And again, this is the scapes. And you can smell the smoked flavor that is in here. This is going to be amazing. So one of the things that I think I'm going to do with this is add some Himalayan salt to it. I think I'll put probably a little bit more and then I'll add salt in and blend it up again. And I will have smoked garlic as well as smoked garlic salt. I think it will be amazing. Thanks for spending time with me.